Hello and welcome again to the Friday Wrap for April 28th. I'm Mayor Mickey. It was a relatively quiet week around the village this week, but that may have only seemed that way because I actually spent most of my time outside the village, which I'll explain. Right now, I'm in Galena. I actually tried to film today's Friday Wrap from outside the home of one of our presidents, where Ulysses S. Grant lived after his presidency, but had some technical difficulties, and so I decided to do it back here in the woods amongst the birds, which you might be able to hear chirping in the background. The regular meeting of the Mayor and Board of Trustees was relatively quiet. Most items were on the consent agenda. We did approve the final build out for the Hampton Social, which is actually well underway in the old Coldwater Creek space. But it was a relatively somber day or evening because we had to say goodbye to a couple trustees that have served the village for quite a while. There's Trustee Diane Bolus, who actually serves on the Planning Commission for over 10 years, as well as Trustee Janet Grasso. They both chose not to run for re-election this time, but instead spent time with more time with their families, of course, and their other interests. But it was mixed feelings, like I said. We appreciate their service, gave them a standing ovation, and we certainly wish them well and appreciate the time that they served the village. The very next day, though, Doug Pollock and I, our soon-to-be village administrator, ended up doing the Springfield drive down to lobby on behalf of the county and the village and the state. That was a pretty cool trip. It was my fifth, his first. I started out with a lunch with Lieutenant Governor Evelyn Sanguinetti, who actually is having another event coming up this week. And that was bookended with a lunch with the state treasurer, Michael Freerichs. In between that time, we also met with, of course, our own governor, Bruce Rauner, as well as the Christine Radonio, who is the Senate minority Republican leader, as well as Jim Durkin over on the House side, as well as a host of others. It's a pretty intensive list. We ended up covering all kinds of topics, primarily around the state budget. Also topics like the need for appropriations of state collected local revenue, otherwise known as the LGDF, and to protect that, as well as a potential tax freeze legislation. Also a number of other items that we're concerned about, having to do with the location of wireless facilities, and as well as reforming public safety pension programs. So it was an intense. We were there for a little over 24 hours, but we covered a lot of bases, talked to a lot of people, and we weren't alone. But the bigger meeting, I think, this week was next door over Willowbrook. They are considering all the pros and cons of an exclusive gun club. They had a huge meeting over at Ashland Place. It came to a packed house, mostly of residents from Willowbrook as well as Burr Ridge that were concerned over the potential for this kind of high-end gun club, which also includes a shooting range, as well as that'll be open to members as well as police departments, as well as a number of other items. It's kind of I'm still learning more information about it. I understand it's really kind of trying to appeal to the outdoorsmen, even to the extent of selling some outdoor vehicles like Jeeps and things. But I am learning more information about it. I was told that after intense concerns over potential gun violence expressed by some of the attendees, and also some threats to the actual board members themselves, the topic was tabled until May 22nd, pending more information, more details, and more discussion. On a personal note, it was a bittersweet feeling to attend our daughter's final college tennis tournament last weekend up at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. It was the end of her 10-year tennis career, which certainly gave us mixed feelings. We were even joined by my brother from Arlington, Virginia, who was a big tennis player himself, for that incredible day. She actually played very well during those matches, and unfortunately the team ended up not advancing to the regionals. So she ended up being able to attend some other events this weekend. But what was neat was she actually won 2 awards. Let me get these right: the Sportsmanship Award for the Horizon League and the All Academia Horizon League Award. We're certainly very proud of her. She's been a great student athlete, and but like I said, bittersweet. End of a 10-year career, and now she's off to the real world. So, in any case, thanks again for joining me. Thanks for letting me share my personal notes as well. Hope you have a wonderful and blessed weekend, and we'll see you next week. That's a wrap.